Deuces Wild motherfuckers!
And we are back after a little bit of a vacation. Hey, congratulations on the mafia. Evidently, you're the Bills Mafia.
Well,
The hitman, the hitman.
no congratulations because basically, Thrill, I'm wearing this in protest of the NFL. Fuck the NFL, the refs, and everybody else still left in the playoffs. The Bills should be there if it was properly ruled a catch on the field like it was with the guy down before the defender stripped the ball. The Bills would be playing to go to the Super Bowl in New England this weekend, but no. That did not happen. They fucked the call up. They didn't even give it time to look at it. They moved on with the game. They were trying to rush that game to get to the San Francisco and Seattle game, which was dog shit anyway. I don't know why they rushed that. And that was that. So, yeah, I'm flying the flag. There's a Bills flag in front of my house. Been wearing the colors.
Hey,
Just
look,
to let,
I've been there, done that because we got the Saints got mobbed about 5 or 6 years ago. Just a straight terrible call at the end of the game. So
pass
been
interference call, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
pass
that it?
interference call. So
Yep.
been there, done that. So it's a shame that at the end of these games that means so much for these players that work so hard over the season that one of the tiger stripe idiots can freaking make that much of a difference.
Yeah, it's too bad. I just wish they looked at it longer. Look, I get it. It's sports, it's life. But anybody who's been a long suffering Bills fan, this one hurt. This one hurt in several different arenas. Mainly, it cost Sean McDermott his job, which I think's bullshit. But we'll see what happens with their next hire. Sad, man. It really is. That said, it's sports, it's life. When it's too tough for them, it's just right for us. Marv Levy said that, former Bills head coach. So fuck it. Put the flag back on. Colors don't bleed.
There you go.
We'll be back.
Yep. So anyway, in the time that we've been gone, uh, needless to say, there have been some signings in the baseball world that everybody's eyebrows went, "What?" And so, I think that you and I are going to be kind of along the same lines, but I need to clarify it with you. So, let's get off and running with the latest, greatest, biggest contract. Kyle Tucker, 4 years, $240 million to the Dodgers.
4 years, $240 million. Let's do the math on that. Six
That
times
would be 60 large a year.
6 times 4 is 24. That was one of the easy ones that I remembered in the third grade when I learned my times table.
You
And
did your
so
little math chart. You did your little math chart.
when the news came out, it was like, oh, 240, no big deal. And I was expecting 7, 8 years. But no, it was only 4. And my initial thought was, holy shitballs, they fucking beyond overpaid for a guy that basically had the same stats as Anthony Volpe last year, making $3 million.
All I can tell you is I had the same reaction when I found out. All right, 240. I'm figuring, like you said, 7 or 8 years. And when they said 4, first thing I did is I jumped on the computer here. Pulled up the stats, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second. He had some really good years in Houston. Don't get me wrong. Matter of fact, I haven't pulled him up right here. He 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 led the NL in RBIs one year. He had 100 another year, and 90 something another year. But then it kind of fell off the last 2 years. I know he was hurt a little bit in 2024, but then last year, dude, 22 and 73 and hit 266. And
Sounds like my career.
and you get 60
Honestly.
large. Wait. You're only 10 away from Otani, and look at the numbers Otani's putting up. It's like,
Well, you're 20 million more.
ooh,
You're 20 million more than Aaron Judge, Trill.
yes.
20 million more than Aaron Judge. Kyle Tucker's a nice player. Tyler Custer's a way better player than I was. I'm not even going to start fucking comparing it.
Hey,
But, dude, if you go on the most recent performance, I think one of the things that they saw, and I might be wrong on this, but last year with the Cubs, he missed some time. He was hurt. He dropped off statistically in the second half of the season. Yet
well,
he
and
still
that's what happened the year before. In 2024, he was banged up a little bit too. He didn't get but 300 at bats, 330 at bats in 2024. So he was a little banged up then too.
well, there's a lot of value in what he brings to the table. It's funny because I a couple of my better years essentially looked like his year last year. I mean, that's what it was. It's really cool for a player that's going to make a few $1,000,000. But 60? What the fuck is going on with the game of baseball? Somebody
Dude,
tell me.
dude, I don't know. All right, let's look at it in kind of a grand scheme of things too. All right. And look, this is one of the reasons why I went on strike in 1994 and 1995, is so down the road guys could get freaking contracts like this. So I'm not knocking him. Hey, dude, go get whatever the fuck you can get. And if they're gonna pay you, fucking A, pay you. All right. But here's the thing. I mean, he's making 60 large in a year. The Pirates, their full entire roster is 95 million. He makes 2/3 of the Pirates' full roster. So
Yeah.
it's hey, look, baseball's getting stupid with these numbers. I mean, stupid with these numbers.
Okay.
Hey, look, there's some really good players out there, but you can't tell me that they're worth that sometimes, And I got a list that we're going to go over. We're going to run through these guys, but really interesting.
136 games last season. He had 597 plate appearances. Where he really he had like 25 doubles, 4 triples, 22 homers, 73 stakes. Talked about that. 25 bags, 3 caught. Really good.
Yeah.
Where he really excelled though, and certainly had me in this category. 87 walks, bringing his on-base percentage up to 377. He had an 841 OPS. He's a good player. I like Kyle Tucker. He's proven to also have success in the postseason. Let's remember this, Real. The Dodgers are not stupid. The contracts may be, but they are not. They see something in Kyle Tucker that they feel is not only going to help them during the regular season, but will help them win another world championship. They struggled mightily in right field. It almost cost them the World Series. In my humble opinion, they're like, fuck it. This isn't happening again. Here, come on for 4 years. We're dealing with age 29, 30, 31, 32. And if it doesn't work out, we'll cut bait. It doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I actually like it. I've got to ask you though, Thrill, because there's a lot of noise going around the baseball community with the question, are the Los Angeles Dodgers ruining baseball?
Well, I mean, to be totally honest, I actually got that question earlier today, and my answer was, it's kind of like looking at the Yankees from the 70s and 80s with Steinbrenner. He went and bought everybody, that kind of thing. So, hey, look, they got the funds. They're going out there buying it. It's worked the last few years for them. They got a few series, and then now they just keep bringing in talent. But you start looking at it now, and so they got you know Tucker, then they got Teoscar Hernandez. Who's their other two outfielders? Who you remember for the Dodgers?
Well, I mean, it depends who
Well,
you're
I
going to
mean,
have
so
out.
like a guy like like a guy like Kiki Hernandez, he's either got to go or he's going to park his ass on the bench.
Well, he's kind of been a role player anyway. He's not an everyday guy.
Oh,
He's just
that's
not. He hasn't
that's
had the
another one. Thanks,
success.
Ryan. Pages is one of them, and
Pages.
then there's another one too. There's another one who got a majority of playing time last year. So I mean, somebody's gonna have to park their butt on the bench and just sort of make do with it.
Yeah, but Teoscar Hernandez was fucking terrible in right field. He was terrible. So, but
Hey,
the problem
some guys
is
want to hit. Some guys want to hit. Just ask Jose Canseco. He wants to hit. I don't even own a glove. That's what he told me in spring training 1994. I don't even own a glove. I'm a DH this year.
you look at the projected starting lineup after the Kyle Tucker sign, and here it is. Ready? Shohei Ohtani leading off and DHing. Mookie Betts, shortstop, hitting second. Freddie Freeman playing first base, hitting third. Kyle Tucker hitting fourth in right field. Will Smith catching, hitting fifth. Max Muncy hitting sixth, playing third base. Teoscar Hernandez moves over to left field. Yeah, that should help him because he's not a terrible athlete. The guy just had like a serious issue fucking catching the ball. Like it was a problem. He put himself in position to catch it and he fucking missed it. One of the things I noticed when he slows down to catch the ball, he runs on his heels.
Runs on his heels, and anytime you run on your heels, you know it. You know it from being an outfielder. We're going to explain this to everybody in the audience. Once you start running on your heels, your head starts bouncing, and that ball goes boop 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 like that. The whole time. If you run on the balls of your feet, run on your toes, you don't have that problem.
My man, this is why we're the best podcast in the business.
Hell yeah, we give the pertinent information. All right,
Yeah.
so hey, look, we talked about Mr. Tucker. All right, some of the other dudes. A guy that signed at the end of the season last year and got a real big deal was one of the top pitchers was Dylan Cease. We had a chance to see him, when he was in San Diego, and I was like, man, I like what I see from that guy. And he signed a 7-year, $210 million deal with the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays, went out and got some more pitching to go with that kid that with the split finger that came at the end of the year, plus some of the other guys that they got.
Trey Savage.
Yeah, Savage. And so, hey, look, Blue Jays going to have a nice little pitching staff now. They got to deal with having lost, Bo Bichette, who's another guy that we're going to talk about here in a second. So, but I liked what I saw from Cease, and he started the whole free agency thing this past fall.
Yeah, and you have to understand the Blue Jays are going to have to overpay a little bit. Dylan Cease can be lights out. Dylan Cease also can be meh. And I think if you ask anybody who watched him pitch, whether Chicago or San Diego, there's a little volatility there. Real good deal for him. I think it's a good deal for the Blue Jays too. I think there's a ton of upside. I typically, as pitchers get older, they calm the fuck down. And they're able to control the strike zone better. They're not trying to overthrow. They learn the hitters. They learn the league. They learn the system. So I think that is a terrific sign by the Blue Jays. But the one guy I felt like they needed to bring back, Bo Bichette, does not come back because he signs with the New York Mets.
New York Mets, the old 3 years, $126 million. $42 million a year. But the one thing that I really like about Bichette, because I pulled up his stats, I've been looking at him. He's always in the top of the league in hits, whether it be leading or right there at it. He's going to give you a little bit of power. He's going to give you some RBIs. Last year it was I think 18 and 94. He hit right at 3 bills or a little bit more than 3 bills. And yeah, I mean, got a 340 on base percentage for his career. I like guys like that. And so he is a tough out. He gives you a great at bat. And like you said, I mean, he damn near won game 7 all by himself with that 3-run homer and some of the other stuff he did on the field. So, you know, Toronto losing Bichette, that's going to be a big gap in their lineup.
Yeah, they kept Vladdy, right? Like they
Yeah.
went all in on Vladdy. I don't blame him for $42 million a year. Fuck, dude. It's just the price right there is super steep. I don't blame them for letting him walk. I'd rather have Dylan Cease for the 210 in 7 years,
Yeah,
and
yeah, no, I
hopefully,
get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And then you know what? Hey, it is kind of what it is. I mean, I like Bichette as a player, but I mean, once again, I'm just saying, I mean, I'm kind of, putting everybody up against Otani and Judge and what they should be making, and the production you get out of those two guys and everybody else is the tier below them. They're not on their level yet. So why are you getting paid at their level? So I don't know.
so I have a question for you now that Kyle Tucker is making $60 million a year. We know that Aaron Judge is underpaid, making 40. Is Shohei Otani underpaid, making 70?
You know what? That is a great question. If you'd asked me that a few years ago, I said, "What the fuck is going on in this game?" I'd be like, "What the shit is happening?" But then, you see what he's done the last few years. That's first off. You see the impact he has on the Dodgers, whether it be coming back and trying to be a pitcher again, but then being in the lineup every day, and then on top of that is the international appeal that he has. We know what he means in the United States, but what the shit does he mean in Japan and China and Korea and all that? Dude, I guarantee you, he is blowing it out the water over there. So, we're sitting there going, whoa, oh, 70 million, but he might be worth double, triple that
Agree.
overseas. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, they actually said that the Dodgers, because of Otani, had already earned the entire contract.
Oh, I
70
wouldn't
million
doubt it. I wouldn't
already in it.
doubt it.
In what, 2 seasons?
Too.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and
It
then on
is.
top of that, he, which is a good thing for him, he deferred a lot of stuff. So the Dodgers are making out like bandits on the front side of the contract, and then here he comes on the back side of the contract. But then they're going to be making that every year. So, dude, it was shrewd business decision. Shrewd business.
It does make you look at baseball player salaries now. And Aaron Judge and Shohei Otani are just different.
Yes,
And I I get it. We love Cal Raleigh, right? And everything he's done. He should have been the MVP, whatever.
he should have been the
Aaron
MVP.
Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh, or excuse me, Aaron Judge and Shohei Otani are international fucking superstars. Judge, because of his consistent, repeated production, his presence, his demeanor, his looks. I'm not going to shy away from it. Good looking cat.
Hey,
All of it.
plays in New York, always on TV, always getting the PR out there. Dude,
And,
they
and
earn the shit,
handling
dude.
and handling it like fucking Derek Jeter, right? Like there's very few people that I've ever come across in the game of baseball. I have so much respect, whether it's Jeter, whether it's Judge, like holy shit, man. There's a lot on those guys. Otani can kind of live in his bubble and do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Those guys had this ultimate spotlight on them. And for them to come out and have the success that they had. Now, that all said, and I love Jeter, Judge is 10x the player that fucking Jeter ever was. He really is. Jeter, great player, great winning player. Judge, I mean, this is fucking Ruth. This is Mantle. This is
Yeah. No,
Maris.
you're
This
right.
is
You're right.
shit that we just haven't seen.
You're right. You're right. Hey, and so anyway, so we talked about Cease. We talked about Kyle Tucker, Bichette. You know, two guys that signed within a few days of one another that moved along and got a chance to make an impact on their teams too. Alex Bregman signed a 5-year, $175 million deal with the Cubs, and Pete Alonso signed a 5-year, $155 million deal with the Orioles. And these guys went to teams that need help, and especially now for the Cubs because they lost Tucker. So now somebody has to step up and be a force in that lineup. And Bregman proved, in Houston, he could take advantage of short porches and the element and stuff like that. And if that wind blows out in Chicago, he's going to be able to do some damage.
Well, I'll tell you this. There were reports that came out. I hate this, but I'm just going to bring it up, and I'm not going to support it or anything else. That a direct quote from a former Cubs player was something along the lines of Kyle Tucker was more interested in his phone than the opposing pitcher's scouting report. And maybe scratch my head a little bit. I mean, we all prepare differently. I've actually heard too that this guy likes to prepare his way. And I respect that because whatever you think is going to prep you for that game, you got to fucking do it. Alex Bregman, on the other hand, I guarantee you this. He is all in on the scouting reports. He is all in on being that teammate, being that guy that's going to help the younger guys, that's going to say, come on, boys, hop on my back. Come up in the big spots, the big situations, a proven winner, a World Series champion, and still a hell of a player.
Yep. You are correct. And on top of that, it's kind of going to be the same thing with Alonso. I mean, he's going to be a presence in the middle of that lineup, and he's going to be able to have direct effect on some of their younger players. The Cedric Mullins and those guys that are in that lineup.
Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I like there's so many young, good Baltimore players that would happen. I've said this from the get as I was watching. I'm like, they don't have enough veterans. They don't have a fucking leader who a guys that's been really like, you don't want to look to a young 20s dude to have to be your leader. You just don't. Even if he is your leader statistically, great. But you don't want that onus falling on him because all of a sudden, if he feels that pressure, he's not going to be that statistical leader.
Right.
Like he's going to be overwhelmed with everything going on. By the time you get into your late 20s, early 30s, it's like, fuck it, man. Yeah. Hop on, boys. I got you.
Yep. You're right. So another thing too, while we're sitting here talking, and this is a kind of a baseball trivia, believe it or not. Gentleman passed the other day, Wilbur Wood. Wilbur Wood was a pitcher with the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the Pirates. And his claim to fame was he was a left-handed knuckleballer. And he played 17 years in the major leagues, 3-time All-Star. He went 164 and 156. He was one of those guys that just chewed up innings, because he's a knuckleballer. He didn't wear out. And, he passed the other day. So a tip of my cap and a slug of my drink to Mr. Wilbur Wood. I met him one time, a great gentleman, and being a left-handed knuckleballer who nobody even thinks about anymore. Truly a nice man.
That's badass. It really is.
Yep.
All right, Thrill. Let's get right into it because this just happened tonight.
Yep.
Carlos Beltran.
Here we go.
So good. Breaking news here on Deuces Wild. The Hall of Fame ballots are in, and Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones have been elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Will Clark, your thoughts?
You know what? Congratulations to both of those guys. They had the stats to do it. You and I have talked about Andrew Jones for years. I've actually talked to Andrew a few times in the last few years. Really nice guy. I really like him a lot. I don't know Carlos that well, but he's got monster stats. And for those two guys getting in, congratulations. I know Beltran, not Beltran, Jones. He was on the ballot for like a while, wasn't he? I mean, he
Yeah.
like kept going up and up and up, and he just kept getting closer and closer and closer, and he finally got over the hump this year.
It was Andrew Jones's ninth term.
Ninth, that's it right there. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
What a good guy. What a great player. He should have been in based on the fact that he was a defensive wizard. 10
Yeah.
gold gloves, 10 years in a row, like the highest ranked center fielder according to Defensive War in the history of the game. This should have never been a question, in my opinion. He
No.
did play later in his career. Stats probably hurt him a little bit, but just a great, great guy, a great, great player, and well fucking deserved, Andrew.
Well, I can tell you one thing, from being a player that played against him a lot, to see the kind of jumps that he got in center field and to see how much ground he covered, it was like you did not want to hit the ball in his direction. And then, I was fortunate enough to catch a few of them, pretty solid. And he'd get on first base, and he's like, I thought I had it, and I was like, believe me, I was trying to hit it hard enough to where you weren't going to get to it. So we had a great relationship at first base. Like I said, I've talked to him a few times. What a great person and well deserved honor.
Chase Utley crossed over the 50% threshold at 59.1%. That's a 19.3% gain. I think that is well deserved. This is a guy that I used to slug down Natty Lights with on the Veterans Golf Course in back of Jackie Robinson Stadium at UCLA. Great fucking dude and a hell of a player. A throwback, somebody who played the game as hard as anyone that I've ever seen and came up as fucking clutch as anyone I've ever seen as well for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, no, I mean Chase did it the right way, and he was the team leader of the Phillies. There was no doubt about it. And he teamed with Ryan Howard over there on the right side in Philadelphia, and they made a hell of a 1-2 punch. But he jumped up there to 59%, and then we got a few that are closing in on him behind him. Is believe it or not, I didn't really realize this one is Andy Pettitte. Andy Pettitte's got 48%, and then Felix Hernandez, the old big K dude, he's at 46%.
King Felix should be a Hall of Famer. 1,000%. Like it's not even a question. Multiple Cy Young Award winner,
Yeah.
a dominant in Seattle. I
I'm
played with him.
gonna pull up Andy's stats because I mean he kind of like flies under the radar, but then he's another guy. We talked about it before. Played in New York, big market team. He got along well with the press. Press talked good about him and all that, and they're giving him a few votes. Besides having some unbelievable stats.
Yeah, but he was linked to PEDs. He had some HGH syndrome.
He's definitely linked to him without a shadow of a doubt.
Fucking whatever. I again, like as a non-PED user at this point, do we really give a fuck that there's so?
You know what? That goes back
So
to
many.
that goes back to the freaking. We beat on this the last show or two. With Barry and
Always do.
Roger and Gary Sheffield. Linked to it and all that sort of stuff. I don't give a fuck. You still got to hit it. You still got to pitch it. Roger's got to hit his spots. Barry's got to fucking walk 12 times, gets one pitch to hit, and he fucking hits it in the bay. Shit like that. It's like, and I even wrote it down. 425 ballots. 425 ballots. That's who's voting on the Hall of Fame right now. There's no way there's 425 people covering baseball right now. They got people that are retired, people that don't even know what's going on in the sport, haven't been in a clubhouse in forever. They got to change up the voting because this is bullshit that these biased media people are the ones that are telling people who go into the Hall of Fame. It's bullshit.
It's bad. It really is. And understand this. I'm not saying this because this is not a holier than thou sort of attitude that you or I are taking. Neither one of us used PEDs in our career. I honestly didn't think it would help me. I didn't need to get faster. I didn't feel like I needed to get stronger. I needed to lay off the 2-2 fucking curveball in the dirt. That was an issue. So,
hey, look, we all had our challenges, but I was going to do it the right way. I wasn't going to do it the wrong way. I wasn't going to cheat. I wasn't going to cheat the system. And hey, people that did, okay, great. You guys got to look yourselves in the mirror. I can look myself in the mirror. I don't have any problem at all. I did it the right way, dude.
Agree. And you know what? Those looking themselves in the mirror, I'm about forgiveness. I am. Because like you said, you still had to pitch the fucking ball. You still had to hit the ball.
Still have to hit it. Still have to run. Still have to have the instincts to take the next base. If you're a pitcher, you have to do the covering first base. You got there's so many things that you have to do in order to be the upper echelon, and these guys are, and they should be rewarded.
So this brings up a great question because Carlos Beltran was elected to the Hall of Fame tonight. Well-deserved, 1,000% in my humble opinion, should be a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Carlos Beltran was also at the center of the sign-stealing, trash can banging scandal in Houston. He was the fucking ringleader. So is that not cheating? What the fuck, man? You can make an argument that had more of an impact than the fucking juice did.
Hey, I'm with you. But hey, look, you look at his stats and what he did all those years. He deserved it. Hey, look, it goes back to I hate to say it, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying type of thing. It's like, they got caught. All right, they got caught.
Everyone else
back in the day. Yeah, back in the day, you get caught, you wear one in the ear. They couldn't wear one in the ear, so they had to do something to address it. MLB, they got to get involved. Them dumb fucks. So anyway.
Oh man. All right, let's take a look at.
Hey, let's step back. Here's another one for you. All right.
Go ahead.
So we've been talking a little bit about everybody else. How about let's go with the Gigantes? We've had a little bit of news. Bryce Eldridge had surgery on his wrist. He's healing up nicely. He's going to be ready to go in spring training. I actually talked to him, and he's going to be ready for spring training. Casey Schmidt, I'm still worried about him. He got surgery in December. He might be a little bit behind, when he comes into spring training. We just signed like the number one prospect in
I saw that
in Latin America. Well, in the Latino draft, the international draft, whatever you want to call it. It's a shortstop by the name of Luis Hernandez, and he was the number one prospect. He's from Venezuela, 17 years old, evidently unbelievable body, can run, can throw, can hit, kind of everything. And we had some money in the pool left over, and instead of like saying, okay, this guy gets one and this guy gets a little bit and this guy gets a little bit, they said piss on it, and they went with this guy who's the number one prospect. So Luis Hernandez, congratulations. Welcome on being a Gigante. And I will see you in the minor leagues here in the next year or so.
I would much rather have signed that kid, and who knows if he's ever a big leaguer or a star. You got to assume he at least will be a big leaguer, but what kind of big leaguer we don't know. I'd rather have him than Kyle Tucker.
Then who?
1,000%. Than Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
I would.
I hate to say it, but I'd rather see this kid develop than have to pay $60 million every year to get 266 with 22
1,000%,
and
dude.
65 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. All right, here's another one. Before you get off on that, let's finish up the Gigantes. Tony Vitello has been busy this offseason. He went to Korea with Jung Hoo, and they brought Adames, they brought Buster, the whole entourage went over there. Well, in the meantime, he solidified his coaching staff. They have two guys that they just signed not too long ago that I'm familiar with, believe it or not. One of them is Hector Borg. Hector Borg used to be a minor leaguer for the Giants for a while. He shifted into coaching. He did a great job in coaching. And then after that, he became head of Latin America, down in the Dominican and all that sort of stuff. And so he is now on the staff. So congratulations, Hector. Another one is Shane Robinson. Shane Robinson was the San Francisco Giants minor league base running coordinator. And so now he is on the major league side of things. The pitching coaching staff is headed by Justin McCage, who was the Milwaukee Brewers AAA pitching coach. So, the Brewers have been coming on the last few years, so maybe this guy had a lot to do with it. I don't know. As part of Tennessee contingent that came over with Vitello is Frank Anderson and another kid by the name of Christian Wonders. Don't know anything about them. And then the bullpen coach is a guy that you and I are real familiar with. It is Jesse Chavez, who last year pitched for the Atlanta Braves. He had glasses, big beard or goatee and all that. And he was one of the relievers with the Braves. He's now going to be our bullpen guy. And then to round out everything is the hitting group. And the hitting group is led by Hunter Mentz, who was the assistant at the Blue Jays. So he just got through with the World Series, and now he takes the head job, with the Giants. And then under him is Oscar Bernard, who was one of the assistant hitting coaches last year. So Oscar returns. Catching coordinator is Alex Berg. Alex been there for a few years. He works hand in hand with Patrick Bailey. So he's back since Patrick won his second Gold Glove. Jace Tingler is another coach. They don't know. I guess he's going to kind of be a a bench guy.
Bench coach, yeah.
Bench coach or something like that.
This is a guy with managerial experience.
Yeah, he's got managerial experience, and so does Ron Washington. And then last but not least is a guy by the name of Quentin Eberhardt, who is director of performance. So I guess he's a strength and fitness guy. So there you go.
Fuck, man. I mean, that's a lot.
Huh?
That's a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if I used to be able to know my coaches' names. I could tell you all of them.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, like when Bochy was there, they had 7 coaches. Now look, I got a goddamn Bible over here, freaking notes about who's who and shit.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
I gotta go to spring training. I gotta introduce myself and go, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. I honestly, I'm gonna be very transparent. I think it's too much. I think it's too much. Too many coaches.
By far.
Too many cooks in the fucking kitchen, man.
Hey, look. You guys, as an organization, all right, you want to save some money? Why we got however many coaches that was right there that I just listed. If I can cut that shit down, instead of having fucking 5 chefs, have 2 or 3. Instead of having 3, strength and fitness guys, have won. You wanna start cutting shit down, cut down some of our freaking thin out the herd, baby, thin out the herd. Stat guys, you know how much I love them. Thin that herd out.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I can tell you, like
I
when I was
love
in
you. We get into these stupid ass conversations. I love
they're
you.
not stupid ass at all. I can tell you. Let's let me go. My first year in Oakland, it all kind of blends together. So I'll give you. We had a manager who was Art Howe. We had a bench coach who was Ken Maka. We had a first base coach who was, who was at first? I'll start to say Fish was at first. So Brad Fish at some point. Then Ron Washington, obviously at third. No, Mike Quaddy was at first. Mike Quaddy at
Wow.
first. Fish was the bullpen coach. Ron Washington at third, and that was fucking it. We had Buckley. Buckley was legendary. Buckley, what's up, Buck? He was our bullpen catcher, and that's it. That's who we fucking. That was our entire side. Our hitting coach. I take that back. I would think it was Thad Bosley at the time. Dave Hudgens was there at one point, but Thad Bosley was there, and pitching coach was, of course, it was a Rick. Come me, somebody help me out here. I love Rick. Rick Peterson. Rick Peterson.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Oh, Mr. Tight Pants. Mr. Tight Pants.
He always loved to touch too. He was very big on touch, man. Right here. Something very interesting. I went to UNR today. Talked to the boys. Just posted on social media, by the way. I collabed with. I have no idea what it was. I just hit accept. UNR had sent out this thing. I had a real good opportunity to talk to the team. This is bullshit. Like it was very informal conversation. They were just asking me some questions, or whatever else. But it is. I love, man. The game is alive and well, dude. Like UNR, they look fucking legit. I am impressed, very, very impressed with everything that I saw over there today.
I've kind of seen that, needless to say, with LSU in my backyard, but also, being around the ranch here lately and in talking to the Mississippi State coach. Both of those guys are really excited about what they got too on the field. So, I think that the talent level that's coming up behind all these major leaguers is getting better and better, and it bodes well for the game.
Yeah. So Jordan, their head coach, super, super good dude. I loved how he ran practice. And basically they were out there, they were doing a live defense / offensive drill. They had the machine cranked up to like, I don't know, 80 some odd miles per hour from 50 feet. So right? And so I'm watching this and they're making plays and guys are busting their ass on the line and all of it. Dudes are hitting nukes. It was really fun to watch. And ultimately, at the end of it, they're all done. They were taking some extra BP. And Colton was with me. I'm like, yo, dude, hop in there and take some hacks. I mean, you haven't hit in 2 months. We hit yesterday in the gym for a second. And so he hops in there with these guys. Dude, he got his fucking lunch eaten, man. I mean, it was. And I'm like, yo, bro, you got to get that head out, man. You have to train hard to play easy, though. And that's exactly what they were doing. These boys were used to it. Colton's used to either me throwing to him, and I do throw gas, but it's easier to time up or whatever else. And terrible BP. Trust me, I don't give a shit. So then, when most people thrill, we go into the cage after. He just wanted more. He's like, let's go to the cage. So I go to the cage, and they have one of the machines where you put those rise balls in. And you've seen those, right?
Yeah.
And it's to simulate get on top of the ball. And the one thing he wasn't doing, it's just a bunch of foul balls. Shit foul balls. So I go here. I'm like, I'm not going to make this easy for you. You want to come hit in the cage? As a matter of fact, take a few swings off the tee just to know you can still hit. Swings are great. I'm going to fucking make it harder for you. And put him in that cage. I just kept going. And in my mind, I'm like, eventually, he's going to figure it out. And before we left there, kudos to the kid. Made an adjustment. Finally made an adjustment from both sides. It took a long ass time, but this is how I learned how to hit. This is how I learned how to hit velocity. I cranked the iron mic up to 90 miles per hour from day one, 13 years old, and just swing and miss, foul balls, got my shit fucking jammed up, whatever. And then eventually, boom, boom, boom. Quit trying to overcoach your fucking kids, is what I'm trying to say here. Throw them into the fire, and then when the fire gets too hot, crank up the fucking heat. They'll figure it out.
Hey, that's the thing. You even said it right there while you were talking. You're like, he's going to make the adjustment. And all right, he did make the adjustment. The difference in between a guy like him and a guy like me and you, on the major league side of things, we make that adjustment quicker.
Way
right?
quicker.
And so
it's not going to. I told them that.
And so,
I said it's not going to take that long.
That's what I tell everybody. Is like I could make an adjustment on the fly at the plate. On the fly at the plate. You get my attention. You telling me, hey, you're pulling your shoulder off. God damn it! Next one, I'm staying that fucking shoulder in. Stuff like that. Somebody tell you, hey, look, he's throwing you that slider. Stay through that slider, and you would make the adjustment and whack that sumbitch in the right center. So that's the difference in between a guy that has our experience and a young guy that's coming up. And that's what that's what I've been trying to teach for years and years and years. These minor leaguers that we have is because, hey, look, dude, why do I have to tell you what adjustment to make? You need to make the adjustment quicker. We already talked about it. We talked about it in the batting cage before batting practice. We worked on it. We worked on what you were going to see tonight. And then it's your job to make that adjustment quicker. I shouldn't have to stand in the dugout and go, God damn it, hurry up. Shit like that. I shouldn't have to do that. It should be on you.
If you're underneath the baseball, it's very easy. Get on top. If you're late to the baseball, it's very easy. Get going earlier. And I just kept saying it. Get going earlier, get on top. Get going earlier, get on top. It isn't rocket science. Get going earlier, get on top. You have the swing, dude. Trust me. You actually have the quick twitch, too. But if you're still going back, I slow-moed one to show him. I'm like, bro, you're still going back, and our ball's in the picture now. The ball's halfway there, and you're still loading. I'm about, bro, you need to be in launch position, ready to fucking fire at that point.
Yep.
So,
hey, you know what else? You know what else too is, you even mentioned it. All right, and this is for people in the chat room. All right, so when I was hitting during the off season, we'd lift during the day and stuff like that, and I'd hit at night. Okay, and I always had a guy or two that used to throw a bat in practice, and then what I would do is I'd start off normal, like you would in the cage, right? And, for the first week or so, I'm getting my hands in shape. I'm getting the calluses. I'm getting the blisters, all that sort of stuff, right? Once that happens and once I start getting my timing, which came along pretty good, all right, what I'd do is I'd take 5 swings right here. I'd move up 5 feet. And then take 5 swings there, move up 5 feet. So now you're legitimately at like 20 feet. While this guy's throwing just straight batting practice. And to make sense of what you said is, I haven't switched a thing. I'm still taking batting practice, but what I am doing is I'm starting earlier because I'm closer to the pitcher. I'm simulating more velocity. I'm not doing anything different with my swing. I'm just starting earlier. And that's what you're trying to preach to these kids.
So before my best season in 2007, every game that we played at home and I had access to this Iron Mike pitching machine in Arizona, I would end with square one up at about 90 feet, square one up at about 80 feet, square one up at 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. Dude, I'd get right on top of this fucking machine. Just, all right, I'm good.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep. No, and that's how I mean, you don't want to wear out a batting practice pitcher, because that's what I used. I hated machines. I wanted to see an
That's good.
arm, so I didn't want to wear him out. But I'm gonna take 5 swings here, 5 swings there, 5 swings here, and then over the course of getting 50 swings in or whatever I was gonna get in that night, maybe more than that, depending on how much he could go. Then hey, look, it was what it was. So.
This is and I certainly believe this. This is the machine generation, though.
Oh, by
Watching these
far,
guys,
by
I
far.
used to I used to hate hitting off that two-wheel machine. It was fucking awful. Hate it. And I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even hit off it. And that's why I was really curious to see how Coleman was because he
Hey,
never hits off it, right? He's
dude,
always
we
seen an
got
arm or seen Iron Mike.
we got 2 or 3 machines in spring training. I don't know why the fuck they do this. And I go over there and I watch these minor league kids. It's these foam balls, and this motherfucker's going
Yeah,
fucking 1,000 miles an hour, and these bastards can't even touch it. They can't even touch it.
yeah.
And I'm,
That was
I'm just
today.
standing there, and I'll legitimately watch like 10 swings, and I'm like, what good did he get out of that? What he's not going to see that in the game. No
Yeah.
chance he's going to see that in the game. Why don't we back the machine down and work on what the fuck we're going to see in the game? And I shake my head at some of the fucking drills we got. I'm like, you have got to be shitting me. You've got to be shitting me. I am working on my swing. I'm working on timing. Yeah, we just talked about it. I can increase the velocity however I want to. I don't need to see a foam ball at a fucking 1,000 miles an hour that I'm not going to hit.
So this is a difference between you and me. I would have wanted the foam ball. Oh, a challenge? I'm in, right? You were just grooving your swing. Like there's some fluidity and love and
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm like, come on, motherfucker. Which is
Yeah.
stupid, actually.
Yeah. You
Now,
put it this way. Put it this way. I'm getting ready to bring something up, but you're into fucking games and you're fucking making a game of this shit. I'm working on my fucking job.
yeah, and I agree. So I do believe, and I tried to tell this to fucking Colton today. And I'm like, Biscuit, listen to me. Quit trying to he was trying to hit like he's in a game, right? This is the last time he hit. It was a few months ago. He was in a game. It was like, he could do all his shit and be on time for a fucking 78-mile-per-hour fastball from 90 feet. Like that's no big deal, dude. Like he's used to that. What I told him today, I go, yo, bro, you need to start treating this like a drill, where it's like we're gonna limit lower half movement. We're gonna get set here, and we're just gonna get our hands. We're gonna get our hands fired. So once he started doing that, that was the eye-opening experience. That was like, oh
Yeah.
shit. And then he's like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
So I see both sides, and I do think how would I rather end typically to feel
And
good.
and
Like yeah,
another thing too, all right? So, I just said it, you're into games. Your lovely bride got on a minute ago. She's been in the chat room, and I had this sent to me yesterday, matter of fact. This is Eric Byrnes
oh
going
yeah.
prone on the pickleball court. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give a round of applause to the new senior pro in pickleball, otherwise known as adult badminton, Eric Byrnes? Woo!
Thrill. I made my senior pro debut this weekend in Palm Springs. Did not bring home any hardware, but was able to win 5 different matches. Played the number 1 mixed doubles team in the world and actually could hang with them. Look, we lost 11-4, 11-3, but trust me when I say we were there. And as novice as I am at this game, I just think it's so fucking cool that I'm 49 still. I'm not even 50 yet, but it's the year I turned 50, so I'm eligible for it. That I can be this excited about something in my life, right? Other than the Deuces Wild podcast, of course.
Hey, look, you're doing something you love. You're enjoying the shit out of it. You're getting better and better. You're now a pro in 2 sports.
True.
So, hey, dude, hats to you, my bud. Congratulations.
Thrill.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
I appreciate that, man. It's kind of like you going and killing shit, you know? It's just,
Yeah, it's
hey.
different. It's different.
Yeah, but
I like to eat the shit. You're doing this for fun, and like I said, I mean, you got a picture, you fucking full on laid out. It's like, wait a second, I got that picture on the baseball field too. He's doing the same thing in pickleball he's doing when he was on the baseball field.
and you want to know something funny? That wasn't the only time I laid out. I laid out another time in the
Oh, I wouldn't
same
doubt it.
match.
I know you. I know you, dude.
Bro, you ready?
I was gonna say probably got skinned up forearms and all that. No, you got
I'll
fucking
fight, bro. Do
yeah,
you
you
know
got
how
messed up hands. Look at you go. That's what I'm talking
you know how
about.
good that you know how good this felt?
I bet.
Like
I bet.
one of them was from one dive, the other was from the other, and I'm fucking bleeding. And you have to wear all white at the Masters, and senior pros have to adhere to all these rules. It's crazy. It's like it's different, right? Because you literally are now a professional, but you have to play within the confines of PPA and all their shit. And I have blood all over my fucking shirt. I got it all over my shorts. And I got done with the match, and I'm like, this is why I do this shit, man. Oh yeah. This is it. This is it. This is fucking everything. And it reminded me when I used to rip bags, and at the end, I would always, no matter what, somehow, some way, find a way to freaking scar my elbows up going head first, or it's my knees. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyhow, man, anything else you want to get into tonight before I go downstairs and
Yeah, no, I
run?
think, dude, we covered a lot of crap. That I've been saving up for the last 2 weeks. I know, I knew you were going to have some stuff you wanted to talk about with Tucker and them. And yeah, no, I'm looking forward to next week. I'll be around next week, and we'll be good to go. We'll see what happens over the course of the week. If it's okay, then we'll do what we normally do. If it's slow or something, you never know. Might sneak in
No.
the garage again.
Oh yeah, we could do that. I'm always in for the garage because we can always talk baseball and garage.
Yeah,
It was, dude, a lot. I can't tell you because when you take a couple weeks off, it actually, I don't know. I think it gives us all a little bit of time to take a deep breath. And I can't tell you how many people, it could be at the pickleball events or wherever I am, will come up and be like, dude, I fucking love your podcast with
yeah,
Will Clark on No Filter Network. It's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I get the same thing, and you know, these are the people that we do this for us because they really appreciate people not bullshitting them and blowing smoke up their ass. They
Yeah,
appreciate two dudes calling it like it is, and that's what we do, bro.
that is. And the Bills still got fucked.
Bills got fucked, Saints got fucked a few years back. Come on, dudes in the fucking white stripes, let's go. Get your shit in fucking gear. Let's go. Shit's right in front of you, and you got to replay, dickheads.
Oh, I know it's so bad. All right, man. Well, hey, have a fantastic week. Great show. Be fun cutting up these clips. Um, and then yeah, you're back on next week, dude. We're right around the corner of spring training.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Hey, not only that, just for I actually told some of the people early on, the owners weekend in for San Francisco in spring training is the 13th, 14th, 15th, which is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday actually happens to be my birthday. So my better half and the kids and all that, we're gonna go to spring training. We're gonna be down there 5 or 6 days, and so if y'all are around, great. If not, we will be
So,
there supporting the Gigantes, and then opening day is Wednesday, March 25th. Can you believe that?
really,
Wednesday, March 25th. I opened on a Friday, freaking April 8th. I
yeah,
opened 3 weeks, damn near 3 weeks before what they're opening now. It's unbelievable.
yeah. They have more off days planned in now, right? They're not jamming 6, 7 games in a week anymore.
Yep.
Way more
Yep.
off days. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna be. We have a tournament that weekend, that 14, 15, 16. And then basically after that, I got to go to Florida shooting a commercial. This is good news. I'll bring it up to you later off the air. But my guy Kevin, I mentioned him earlier today on the Daily Hustle, reached out today. We have an fucking awesome sponsorship opportunity coming our way here at Deuces Wild. So
Nice.
hopefully we'll nail this down in the next couple days, Thrill. And
nice. That sounds good. And your bride
solid.
just chunked on there. She chunked March 25th. That actually is my sister's birthday. So she's on the same day as my sister, and I was born on Friday 13th. This year coming up, it's on Friday 13th. So, yay!
So you know I'm the 16th. February 16th is my 50th birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
February 16th. I'm going to write that down. You're going to get a bouquet of roses.
Yeah, you're March 13th is when you guys are going out for that owners weekend. Yeah, not February. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to try to get back down there.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you guys.
Hey.
All right.
This was a great show. You know, we had missed,
as always,
a week or so, and we were able to get a lot of information. We'll see what the shit happens the next week, and then, like you said, we're knocking on the door of spring training.
Appreciate everybody joining. Let me take a second here. Whether it was Paulie, Christian, obviously Thrill in there.
Dude, we had some new dudes show up. Joe's in the house pretty strong now. Paulie, thanks for joining in from down yonder. JT,
of course, Josh,
Tommy, Linda,
Ryan,
all the characters. Ryan, Wes, all of those guys.
Joe,
yep.
Linda, let's see, Rev, Pete, keeps going, man. See, you know what, Jordan, the head coach at UNR, he asked me.
And Austin.
He goes, Austin in there? I mean, this is great. So Jordan's like, so when you do the show with Thrill, he goes, are you thinking about things that'll rile him up? I go, bro, all day, every day.
All day, every day.
That's it.
Everybody I run into goes like this. They go, dude, he fucking pulls your chain all the time. I go, he knows what fucking gets me fired up, and I know what gets him fired up, and we feed off one another.
As we should, man. That's how we bring the juice. You're juiceful, you're useful, you're juiceless, you're fucking useless. Oh,
dude,
all right, Thrill.
Dude, what a good show, and let's we'll see what next week brings, and then we'll play by ear.
Austin, appreciate you checking in from Florida. We're going coast to coast, globe to fucking around the globe.
Yeah, we had a new guy show up early on in the chat room. R. Candy K. Williams, and he said that he faced me a few times in high school and shit. So I don't know who he is, but join back on again next week.
Pull out the beta tapes and let's check it out.
Put it this way. He knew of a ballpark that we played in that was a fucking launching pad. And I was like, ooh, he's got some inside info there.
I love it. All right, Thrill, have a great week. Everyone else out there, one little final message for you. See ya!